You know, today I found out that my grandmother is really sick, and my mom has been sick, and both of them are looking at coming situations that may have fatal results. And truly, everything health wise depends upon the spirit of your well being. And if you are sick at heart and tired and weary, your muscles are also. And if you have a fighting spirit, your body may do things that bring a new view of science. New views of science only come along when a new situation arises. And where do these new things come from? Chemical compounds and formulas and diagnosis come about. But a diagnosis is an all perfect description of the situation. And the only thing all perfect is of perfection itself, and that being God. And God, in God's many ways and forms, is something very hard for man to conceive. In fact, many religious wars and disorders of points of view have led astray truly great beliefs that formed societies. These belief structures usually being built on top of person letting out to the next person to work together to get by. And if these beliefs held in honesty and honored, these belief systems work of all religions. Religions being handed down from God to various leaders of the world as God came to those leaders. And when one leader looks to another leader and explains God and their point of views, they separate God, claiming this to be their God and that to be the other's God, when in turn, God is God. Good, orderly direction, or for me, Jesus Christ, or for Muhammad delivering the same God, but yet how God came to Muhammad, or how Jesus came to me, or how God went to Gandhi, who didn't was not a Christian or a Islamic faith or any other belief, but yet Gandhi's peaceful nature. God is a peaceful nature, and God is, however, He appears to those. And when we take this direction of what needs to be done, people only create conflict. Because a situation is neither good nor positive unless there is a belief placed that an action occurs, whatever this person feels, is how they decide whether it's good or bad. Some people make decisions on what the situation is and a group follows them. Some people make decisions and a group goes against their decision because somebody else made the decision to go against that person and the rest of the group follows that person. But God, when He comes, affects millions and comes in a time of chaos, and it's rock bottom, and always has for thousands of years in many different ways that have saved societies from conquering themselves. When the belief structure goes away and there's no longer a good moral atmosphere, the group does not want to be surrounded by negativity. And if negativeness is in the soul and surrounds itself with more negativeness, eventually negativity is the soul, and everybody is of one negative, and it can burn away. But if it's positive, or of the opposite belief, And in each and every person's heart is to help the next person. They find themselves with lots of things because they've all helped each other to get something done. Each one having its own accomplishment, the other person not worrying about what this accomplishment means to them, but only yet to who they're doing it for. And you find sometimes that when you help somebody, when you think this would make no sense or why are we doing it, sometimes has an amazing outcome. In fact, usually 100% of the time. Usually does not fit with 100%. It's not of the same type of phrase. But that's what makes it possible. When you work hard to get along, this chain of events allows a past and a future. If you hate every idea, you won't even enjoy what you accomplish. You'll never get to feel an accomplishment and always wonder why you can't fight the fear of doing the right thing. To fear doing the right thing is usually because there's so many who do the wrong. I don't want to be out of place. But maybe there's no place and you need to make one. People follow a good idea as long as it's an idea of a leader. People follow bad ideas as well. Unfortunately, those are bad leaders who lead them to that decision. This belief system is what defines good and bad. And for somebody who was not taught what to believe, natural beliefs can be natural, and some beliefs that were taught are taught for good purposes. Some are unnatural beliefs that were taught to make life unnatural, which it is for many. For if it were natural, you'd be born in a land of nothing from somebody who raised you with all the resources available to them because there was nothing around. That's natural. But we have come to a later time in society. Society has always been around with its many ideas and ways. And those who are cunning and witty with their little gimmicks can live a financial escapade. But those who work hard can live that same financial stability. Just won't be an escapade. And when it's time to actually settle down, you'll be able to help others make correct decisions to do the same thing if you take the responsibility. On the very bottom, there's a flock of bottom, and there's herders over the flock. Those herders are part of a flock. That is only one flock above the bottom flock. And there are herders over that flock that's above that bottom flock. Those herders that are above the flock that's above the bottom flock are also part of a flock that have herders over them. And there's two sides on the very top. Good and evil. One side always keeps you at the bottom, and the other side is the reason there's a top. Which side you pick is your decision.